Welcome back to Christology. Friends, today we have an interesting subject which goes as viewing others as others makes us judgmental. Rich with diversity, where people embody a multitude of perspectives and lifestyles, it is imperative that we examine how we view one another. Jesus, in his profound wisdom, addressed this very issue during his Sermon on the Mount, as recorded in the Gospel of Matthew. In chapters 5 through 7, he lays out the Beatitudes, the beautiful attitudes, promoting the right attitudes for his followers, and underscores a fundamental call for compassion, humility, and a judicious view of others. Particularly in Matthew chapter 7, 1 to 5, he emphatically warns us, "Judge not, that ye be not judged," urging us to reflect on our own shortcomings before we cast judgment on others. Biblical directive invites us to ponder the depth of our attitudes towards those we often see as others. The act of labeling people as outsiders or different can lead to a predisposition to judge, which is an all too human tendency. When we categorize individuals based on differences such as religion, belief systems, sexual orientation, or lifestyle choices, we unknowingly erect barriers that separate us from appreciating their inherent dignity and worth. Such judgments stem from unconscious biases that can be deeply ingrained, manifesting in our thoughts, words, and actions, even when we may claim to be inclusive. Strangers or those who appear dissimilar often provoke feelings of discomfort or even hostility within us. This reaction typically stems from fear, the fear of the unknown, and the instinct to retreat into our comfort zones. When we regard someone as other, we create an artificial divide that can lead to prejudice and hostility. The discomfort we feel not only isolates us from others, but also obstructs our spiritual growth. To overcome this inclination to judge, we must first recognize and accept the depth of God's unconditional love for us. When we internalize the truth that each person is equally cherished by God, we begin to see them through the different lens. It is imperative to acknowledge that the vast diversity of humanity reflects the broad spectrum of Jesus' love. Those who might be categorized as others are part of his creation and share in his grace just as we do. To overcome this inclination to judge, we must first recognize and accept the depth of God's unconditional love for us. When we internalize the truth that each person is equally cherished by God, we begin to see them through a different lens. It is imperative to acknowledge that the vast diversity of humanity reflects the broad spectrum of Christ's love. Those who might be categorized as others are part of his creation and share in his grace just as we do. Embracing this revelation transforms our perspective. It diminishes our need to prejudge or separate ourselves from others. As our hearts become attuned to the rich tapestry of human experience, We cultivate an environment of empathy and understanding. It is in this space that genuine relationship can flourish, unencumbered by judgment. As we negotiate this path of spiritual growth, let us seek the Lord's guidance in fostering the insight required to unlearn judgmental attitudes. During this reflective season, may we commit ourselves to breaking down the walls of prejudice and opening our hearts to recognize the inherent beauty in every individual. Our journey towards love and acceptance, free from judgment, aligns us more closely with the compassionate heart of Christ. Let us strive to see beyond labels, remembering that we are all part of the same divine family, united in the embrace of God's unconditional love. That is all for today, my friends, and take care till we meet again tomorrow with another interesting topic.